Well, hey everybody, hope you're having a really good week and are looking forward to your weekend. It's time for our Friday story time, and today we're going to look at that thing that most of us have probably had rude thoughts about at some point in our lives or another, either because we didn't get back in time to feed it or because we got there and didn't have anything to feed it with, or just couldn't find one available. What am I talking about? The parking meter. Yeah, you ever had issues with one of those? Let's have a look at it, shall we? The parking meter. There's something about a parking meter that can rouse the rebel in the most conforming breast, turn an honest man or woman into a petty felon, and bring out the brute in the mildest of people. With its insatiable appetite for coins and inexorable clockwork, the parking meter is just one more tax, a levy in effect, for parking beside a public curb already paid for with taxpayers' funds. The parking meter was invented by Carl C. McGee and introduced on the streets of Oklahoma City in July of 1935. The parking meter has been the target of bricks and bats and lockpicks manipulated by professional burglars, and the cause of at least one statewide referendum to ban their use, successfully launched by a North Dakotan who objected to paying a $1 fine for overstaying his curbside welcome. Consider the fury that must have animated one wealthy Minnesota matron as she sat in her limousine on a sub-zero night and cruised the streets of her hometown. The car stopped at meter after meter, and her chauffeur stepped out into the cold. With a water-filled syringe in hand, he injected each coin slot, freezing 30 meters before the local constabulary confronted the malefactors. Many less ingenious, but no less incensed parkers have taken their revenge by stuffing the machines with whatever came to hand. In the mid-60s, that's the 1960s by the way, after the introduction of the pull-top can, city officials all over the United States complained of finding coin boxes full of the metal rings. Chicago amassed the largest collection. The yield there was some 74,000 pull rings in 1 month. Can manufacturers reluctantly redesigned the pull tabs, but not without complaining that, aside from the fact it would cost millions, the fault lay with the meter makers. The machines, in fact, have accepted as payment objects as diverse as paper clips, toothpicks, earrings, religious medals, and buttons. There was one woman, perhaps meaning to solve two problems at once, who inserted her gold wedding ring into the meter slot. Besides meter cheaters, there have been meter thieves too. In New York, some robbers have done it the hard way, slicing off meters with a pipe cutter. A boy in Houston had a better idea. He found that he could suck coins up to the slot, hold them with his teeth, and remove them with his fingers. That is, until the police caught up with him. At least some non-governmental good has come from the parking meter. According to one story, policemen sometimes put in coins for the delinquent parkers, especially during the holiday season. A little note points out the good deed and suggests that the Police Association's Children's Fund gratefully accepts all contributions. The policemen find that the returns on their investment are very good. In spite of the public's obvious discontent, the parking meter is here to stay. It represents one more skirmish in the long war between bureaucracy and the citizenry over traffic control. This war dates back at least as far as Julius Caesar's time, when the dictator banned private chariots from the streets of Rome during business hours. State vehicles, of course, were exempt. Caesar would have approved of the latest wrinkle in parking meter technology, a built-in sensor that automatically turns the clock to 0 when the car beside the meter pulls away before its time is up. This will put an end to the old ploy of finding a meter with some time left ticking on it. Well, there you go. And yeah, I can say that I've had my moments with parking meters, and indeed I think I've once had a parking meter expire on me, and I didn't get back in time, and I had a $20 parking ticket in Minot, North Dakota. So apparently the successful ploy to have the meters banned in North Dakota didn't last for too long, because I was there and I remember getting a ticket and having to pay it before I headed back to Canada. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's little story about the parking meter. And now it's that time that you all really tune in for. You really don't care about Band-Aids and parking meters and whatever other things I've talked about. What you really want to hear is the groaner. Well, the pastor of a parish who'd been there in that parish for about 10 years was retiring. And on his final Sunday at the end of the service, as he's at the coffee hour with the people and saying his goodbyes, one lady in the congregation just bursts into deep, heartfelt sobs and is just crying so hard. The pastor goes over and puts his arm around her and says, Now, Martha," he says, it is a sad time, but I'm sure that the search committee will find somebody who's probably a much better pastor and preacher than I am." She goes, "That's what I'm worried about. They told me the exact same thing last time, and we got you." So there you go. Alrighty, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and you have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves, get out there, enjoy the sunshine while it lasts. We'll see you on Tuesday for Tuesdays with the Pilgrim. Until then, take care, stay safe, and God bless.